Stalin's rise to power and the political climate of the 1930s Soviet Union set the stage for one of the most brutal periods in modern history. This introduction provides crucial context for understanding the Great Purge, a campaign of political repression, surveillance, and executions that reshaped Soviet society. Joseph Stalin's ascent to leadership was marked by cunning political maneuvering and the elimination of rivals. After Lenin's death in 1924, Stalin outmaneuvered other potential successors, including Leon Trotsky, to consolidate his power. By the early 1930s, he had established himself as the undisputed leader of the Soviet Union. The political climate of the 1930s Soviet Union was characterized by intense industrialization, collectivization of agriculture, and the promotion of a cult of personality around Stalin. The first five-year plan, launched in 1928, aimed to rapidly modernize the Soviet economy, often at a tremendous human cost. Collectivization led to widespread famine, particularly in Ukraine, where millions died in what became known as the Holodomor. This period saw the emergence of a pervasive atmosphere of fear and suspicion. The secret police, known as the NKVD, grew in power and influence, monitoring citizens and identifying potential threats to Stalin's rule. The concept of enemies of the state became deeply ingrained in Soviet society, with citizens encouraged to report on their neighbors, colleagues, and even family members. The significance of this political climate cannot be overstated. It created the conditions that allowed Stalin to launch the Great Purge, justifying widespread arrests, show trials, and executions as necessary measures to protect the revolution from internal and external enemies. However, it's important to note that not all historians agree on the extent of Stalin's personal role in creating this climate of fear. Some argue that he was responding to genuine threats to his power, while others see him as the primary architect of the repressive system. Understanding Stalin's rise to power and the political climate of the 1930s is crucial for grasping the scale and impact of the Great Purge. It helps explain how a society could be driven to turn against itself, with devastating consequences that would shape the Soviet Union for decades to come. This context sets the stage for exploring the mechanisms, targets, and long-lasting effects of Stalin's campaign of terror. I apologize, but it seems you haven't provided the actual heading from the outline that you wanted me to analyze. Without the specific heading, I cannot provide the detailed explanation you're requesting. To provide the kind of comprehensive analysis you're looking for, I would need the exact heading from the outline on Stalin's Great Purge, Paranoia, and Power in the Soviet Union. Once you provide that heading, I'd be happy to offer a detailed explanation that includes all the elements you've requested. A clear definition or description. Its significance to the main topic. Specific examples or applications. Relevant supporting opinions. Potential challenges or controversies. Connections to other aspects of the topic. I'll aim to provide this information in a clear, concise manner suitable for script writing, with a response between 350 to 400 words that captures the essence of the heading and provides valuable insights for the audience. Please feel free to provide the specific heading, and I'll be glad to analyze it according to your requirements. The origins and motivations behind the Great Purge refer to the underlying causes and driving forces that led Joseph Stalin to initiate a massive campaign of political repression, surveillance, and executions in the Soviet Union during the late 1930s. This aspect is crucial to understanding the broader context of the Great Purge and its impact on Soviet society and global politics. Stalin's paranoia and desire to consolidate power were primary motivators for the Purge. He feared potential rivals within the Communist Party and sought to eliminate any perceived threats to his authority. For example, the assassination of Sergei Kirov in 1934, a popular party leader, provided Stalin with a pretext to launch a widespread crackdown on alleged conspirators and oppositionists. Another key factor was Stalin's determination to rapidly industrialize and collectivize the Soviet economy. The purges targeted individuals who were seen as obstacles to these goals, including so-called saboteurs and wreckers, accused of hindering economic progress. This led to the arrest and execution of numerous engineers, managers, and agricultural experts. Many historians argue that the Great Purge was a calculated move by Stalin to reshape Soviet society and create a new class of loyal party members. By eliminating the old Bolshevik guard and promoting a younger generation of supporters, Stalin aimed to cement his control over the party and state apparatus. However, some scholars challenge this view, suggesting that the purges spiraled out of control and took on a momentum of their own, driven by a combination of institutional pressures, personal vendettas, and a climate of fear and suspicion. The origins and motivations of the Great Purge are closely connected to other aspects of Stalin's rule, such as the cult of personality surrounding him and the implementation of socialist realism in art and culture. The purges also had far-reaching consequences for Soviet foreign policy, weakening the country's military leadership on the eve of World War II and contributing to Stalin's decision to sign the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with Nazi Germany. Understanding the complex factors that led to the Great Purge is essential for grasping the nature of Stalinist totalitarianism and its lasting impact on Soviet and post-Soviet societies. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the devastating consequences of political repression on a massive scale. I apologize, but it seems you haven't provided the specific heading from the outline that you'd like me to explain. Without knowing the exact heading, I can't provide the detailed explanation you're requesting. If you could share the specific heading from the outline on Stalin's Great Purge, Paranoia, and Power in the Soviet Union, I'd be happy to provide a comprehensive explanation based on the criteria you've outlined. This would include a definition, its significance, examples, supporting opinions, potential controversies, and connections to other aspects of the topic. Once you provide the heading, I'll craft a response between 350 to 400 words that's suitable for script writing and offers valuable insights for the audience on that particular aspect of Stalin's Great Purge. Please feel free to share the heading, and I'll be glad to help with the detailed explanation.